On April 5th, 2026, a 31-year-old woman from South Jersey posted what would be the last photo she ever shared with the world. She was feeding a giraffe on an African safari. Rose petals on the ground spelled out HBD Ashlee. She was glowing. Her caption read, Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be. For days later, she was dead. Her name was Ashlee Robinson, but the world knew her as Ashlee Jenae. And right now, nobody, not her family, not the public, not even investigators, has a clear answer for what happened inside that hotel room in Zanzibar. What we do have are fragments, a timeline with a gaping hole in it, an unexplained mark, a fiancé who stopped answering his phone, and a family on the other side of the world screaming into the silence, demanding that somebody, anybody, tell them the truth about how their daughter died. Welcome back to Old People of Crime. I'm glad you're here, though I wish the reason wasn't this. Today we're covering a case that is still unfolding in real time. A young woman, a dream vacation, a mysterious death, and a fiancé who has gone eerily quiet. We're going to walk through everything we know, everything that doesn't add up, and every question that still needs an answer. Let's start from the beginning. Ashlee Robinson was 31 years old, originally from South Jersey, and by all accounts, a woman full of life. Online, she went by Ashlee Jenae. She had built a following of over 100,000 people on Instagram, where she documented her life as a lifestyle and travel content creator. Her feed was warm, vibrant, and aspirational. Travel adventures, personal milestones, and moments with her boyfriend, McCann. She was the kind of person who made you feel like you knew her, even if you'd never met. The kind of creator who brought people into her world and made them feel welcome there. Her parents, Harry Robinson and Yolanda Denise Andres, describe her the way any parent would describe a daughter they are fiercely proud of. She's always smiling. She loved being in front of the camera. Those are her father's words. She was loved. She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about. That's her mother. She was entering what looked like the most exciting chapter of her life. A new decade, a relationship that seemed to be moving forward, and a trip to one of the most beautiful places on earth to celebrate all of it. And that trip, that birthday celebration that was supposed to be a dream, is where everything went terribly, irreversibly wrong. In early April 2026, Ashlee and her boyfriend, 45-year-old Joseph Isaac McCann, traveled to Tanzania. On April 3rd, McCann got down on one knee during a safari. Ashlee said yes. She shared the video. The comments were filled with joy, friends, followers, strangers celebrating this moment alongside her. The couple had been staying at the Serval Wildlife Resort, a luxury property where rooms run close to $950 a night, before moving on to the Zuri Zanzibar, a private resort on the island of Zanzibar. The trip was framed as a birthday celebration and, now, an engagement celebration too. It was the kind of trip people dream about. The kind you look back on decades later and say, that was the best week of my life. On April 5th, Ashlee posted her final Instagram update, the one with the giraffe, the rose petals, the caption about Chapter 31. She was FaceTiming her family, showing them the views, sharing her joy in real time. Her mother later said, she was starting the next chapter of her life. She called us to FaceTime us to share with us her travel and her vacation. She had no way of knowing it would be the last thing she ever posted. None of them did. According to police, the couple checked into the Zuri Hotel on April 4th. And from the very beginning of their stay, things were apparently not going well behind closed doors. Witness accounts obtained by police described the couple as quarreling frequently during their time at the resort. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly over the course of several days. We don't know what those arguments were about. We don't know how serious they were. What we do know is that on the night of April 8th, things escalated to the point where the hotel itself had to intervene. Management separated the two. McCann was moved to a separate villa, approximately a 10-minute walk from Ashlee's room. That detail matters. Because what happened next happened with the two of them apart, on opposite ends of that resort. Ashlee called her mother that same evening. According to her mother, Ashlee told her that she and McCann had argued and that hotel staff had separated them. She was aware of what had happened. She was talking about it. Nothing in that conversation, her family says, suggested Ashlee was in distress. She did not sound afraid. She did not sound like someone on the edge. She did not say goodbye. A few hours after that phone call, a hotel worker found Ashlee Robinson unresponsive. She was found in a closet. A belt was around her neck. She was rushed to a local hospital, then transferred to a second facility. On April 9th, she was pronounced dead. She was 31 years old. She had been engaged for 6 days. Now, here is where the story fractures into two very different narratives. Tanzanian authorities initially characterized Ashlee's death as a suicide. Her family, categorically, does not accept that. She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself like that. That's her mother. Her father put it simply, nothing about it makes sense. It just doesn't add up. And the more you look at the details of those final hours, the harder it becomes to dismiss the family's doubts. There are 4 things in particular that have fueled their skepticism and kept this case in the public eye. The first is what's being called the 11-hour gap, a significant window in the timeline of that night that has not been publicly accounted for by investigators. Where was everyone? What was happening? Nobody has answered that. The second is an unidentified mark found on Ashlee's body, a mark that has been referenced in reporting but that authorities have not addressed or explained on the record. The third is the question of what McCann knew and when. He called Ashlee's mother on April 9th and told her that Ashlee had done something to herself and was being taken to the hospital. He said she was stable. He gave the impression that she was alive and being cared for. And then he went silent. The family says they did not hear from him again after that call. They did not receive an update. They did not receive a follow-up. They learned their daughter was dead not from the man she was engaged to, but from the hotel. Since then, every attempt to reach McCann has gone unanswered. The fourth issue is the investigation itself, or rather, the wall the family has hit trying to access it. Ashlee's parents flew to Washington, D.C. to seek answers directly from the embassy. They were getting nowhere through other channels. Her father told reporters, "No one wants to talk to us. Just let us know what happened. That's the only thing we want to know, is the truth." The family announced they were preparing to travel to Zanzibar themselves, because waiting at home was no longer something they were willing to do. On April 14th, Tanzanian investigators held a press conference. They confirmed that Joseph Isaac McCann had been questioned by police and that his passport was being held pending autopsy results. Authorities at that time said he was not officially a suspect, but they were not done questioning him either. The Deputy Director of Investigations in Zanzibar declined to comment further, stating only that the investigation was ongoing. The Zanzibar government's Ministry of Tourism and Heritage released a statement urging the public to allow the process to play out, asking for patience and understanding as law enforcement proceeded and due process was followed. The Zuri Hotel stated they were cooperating fully with local authorities and the U.S. Embassy and extended their condolences to Ashlee's family. The U.S. State Department confirmed the death of an American citizen in Zanzibar and stated they were monitoring the case, but offered no further detail, citing privacy considerations. As of this recording, no official cause of death has been formally released to the public. The family has also pushed back on information circulating online about how Ashlee died, urging people to treat anything not confirmed directly by them as unverified. Here is what keeps this case from having an easy resolution. We don't know what happened in those 11 unaccounted hours. We don't know the significance of the mark found on her body. We don't know the full nature of the argument between Ashlee and McCann that sent hotel staff to separate them. We don't know why the man she was supposed to marry stopped picking up the phone. We don't know what the autopsy found. And we don't know, definitively, whether Ashlee Robinson died by her own hand or whether someone took her life. What we do know is this. A 31-year-old woman was celebrating the best week of her life. A birthday, a proposal, a dream vacation on one of the most beautiful islands in the world. She called her mother that night sounding like herself, present, aware, talking. And hours later, she was gone. Her family is fighting for answers across international borders, navigating foreign law enforcement, a largely silent fiancé, and a State Department that keeps saying it's watching without saying what it sees. They've raised over $42,000 through a GoFundMe just to afford the fight. That is not okay. None of this is okay. We will be following this case closely here on Old People of Crime. As soon as autopsy results are released, as soon as the investigation reaches any formal conclusions, we will cover it. To Ashlee's family, Harry, Yolanda, everyone who loved her, we see you, we hear you, and we are not going to let this story go quiet. The link to the family's GoFundMe is in the description below. If this case is new to you, drop a comment. If you've been following it, tell me, what questions are you still sitting with? What doesn't add up for you? Like this video if you think Ashlee's story deserves to be heard. Subscribe so you don't miss our follow-up. And as always, we don't forget. We don't move on. We demand answers.